हरे कृष्ण। जय गुरुदेव। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजना। जशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजना। जमुना तीरा वनचारी। जमुना तीरा वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय राधे श्याम राधे श्याम राधे श्याम जय राधे श्याम। जय कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम। जय गौरनिताय 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 जय गौरनिताय। जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद। जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्रीला हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। निताय गौर सीतानाथ प्रेमानंदे हरि 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 बोल। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। This evening we are reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, text 2.14. Ravish. मात्रा स्पर्शास्तु कौन्तेय शीतोष्णा सुखदुःखदा आगमापायिनो नित्यास् तां स्थितिक्षस्व भारत। मात्रा स्पर्शास्तु कौन्तेय शीतोष्णा सुखदुःखदा आगमापायिनो नित्यास् तां स्थितिक्षस्व भारत। मात्रा स्पर्शास्तु कौन्तेय शीतोष्णा सुखदुःखदा आगमापायिनो नित्यास् तां स्थितिक्षस्व भारत। Anybody? मात्रा स्पर्शास्तु कौन्तेय शीतोष्णा सुखदुःखदा आगमापायिनो नित्यास् तां स्थितिक्षस्व भारत। मात्रा स्पर्शास्तु कौन्तेय शीतोष्णा सुखदुःखदा आगमापायिनो नित्यास् तां स्थितिक्षस्व भारत। मात्रा स्पर्शास्तु कौन्तेय शीतोष्णा सुखदुःखदा आगमापायिनो नित्यास् तां स्थितिक्षस्व भारत। Okay. Matra sparshaha, sensory perception. Tu, only. Kaunteya, O son of Kunti. Shita, winter. Ushna, summer. Sukha, happiness. Dukkha, and pain. Daha, giving. Agama, appearing. Apayinaha, disappearing. Anityaha, non-permanent. Tan, all of them. Titikshasva, just try to tolerate. Bharata, O descendant of Bharata dynasty. Translation. O son of Kunti, the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress and their disappearance in due course are like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer seasons. They arise from sense perception, O scion of Bharata, and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. Please repeat. O son of Kunti, the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress, and their disappearance in due course are like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer seasons. They arise from sense perception, O scion of Bharata, and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In the proper discharge of duty, one has to learn to tolerate non-permanent appearances and disappearances of happiness and distress. According to Vedic injunction, one has to take his bath early in the morning, even during the month of Magha, January, February. It is very cold at that time, but in spite of that, a man who abides by the religious principles does not hesitate to take his bath. Similarly, a woman does not hesitate to cook in the kitchen in the months of May and June, the hottest part of the summer season. One has to execute his duty in spite of climatic inconveniences. Similarly, to fight is the religious principle of the Kshatriyas. And although one has to fight with some friend or relative, one should not deviate from his prescribed duty. One has to follow the prescribed rules and regulations of religious principles in order to rise up to the platform of knowledge, because by knowledge and devotion only can one liberate himself from the clutches of Maya, illusion. The two different names of address given to Arjuna are also significant. To address him as Kaunteya signifies his great blood relations from his mother's side, and to address him as Bharata signifies his greatness from his father's side. From both sides, he is supposed to have a great heritage. A great heritage brings responsibility in the matter of proper discharge of duties. Therefore, he cannot avoid fighting. Hare Krishna. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Welcome to this evening session. Hare Krishna. So, this particular verse, 2:14, Matra sparshastu kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkadaha agama paino anityas tam stitikshasva bharata, which is denoting that we must tolerate the dualities of this world, right? Now, in regards to this, I would like to share a real lifetime experience of a devotee, which I heard it personally. And this devotee happens to be my Vartma Pradakshaka Guru. This was years ago. She told me how when she got married and she entered her husband's house, few days, few weeks were okay. And one fine evening, the husband, the husband's father, husband's brothers, they were like four brothers, and they were all living in the same family, joint family. So this devotee, who is my Vartma Pradakshaka Guru, she was the new person in the family. See, when new people enter the family, then they expect some extra services from them as ladies. So she was asked to bring all the the wine bottles into that living room where all these men were ready to hog on it. It was a very difficult situation for her, newly married. She's home, and then she's asked to bring this huge rum bottle and wine, red wine, whatever, all these bottles. And this is the Indian family. And she was, she brought all of it on the table. And then she was asked to, make cocktail of each one, like mix, and she was asked to serve each one of these men. And it was very difficult for her because she was not trained that way. But slowly she understood, this is my service here. I can't help. If I have to be here, then this is what I have to do. So it was a regular thing from then onwards. They would all sit in the evening. It was a joint family. People were not bad, but then they had this particular bad habits. See, one or two bad habits don't make the person like completely bad, but these were the bad habits, and she was just, foreseeing that what if this bad habit destroys the family, can break the family. But anyways, she just continued her service, and every day, see, few days she was taught, then after some time she understood their mode, and then on her own she would just go and deliver these bottles and then serve them all this stuff. By doing so, she actually won their hearts, right? After a long time, after a few years. Then while she was serving, she was also praying to the Lord that sometime, this thing should stop. How can this continue forever? And when I have children, then they will also pick up this bad habit. She was very, very concerned. She was not in that type of a family. She didn't come from that type of a background. So slowly, it so happened that the brothers, they moved to different locations. Then only her family was there. The father-in-law died. See, the situation changed, okay? Nothing is permanent. That's what I'm explaining here. Happiness and distress keep coming. It's non-permanence, happiness and happiness and distress. So, and the father-in-law died. Then the brothers, they moved to different places, and slowly this family got in touch with ISKCON Center in the same place where they were living. And still, you see, the habits don't go easily. The bad habits, they don't die so easily. But satsang, the association of devotees, can make a difference, can bring that difference into the individual's life. So slowly her prayers and the association of devotees and the individual effort, all these three things made a big change in the family. Although she became the practitioner of Krishna consciousness quickly, she picked up. The husband picked up little later, but he picked up. So this is what happens. And there is a saying in Hindi, sabar ka phal meetha hota hai. Always when you patiently wait, then you'll always get the good results. But you have to put your efforts, not just sit quietly and do nothing. So from her experience, what I drew, the lessons, her endurance all through, the different phases of difficulty, because she had to, sometimes if she didn't bring, they would yell at her, make faces. So she had to tolerate all that, no? So she did tolerate, huh? So her endurance through all these difficult phases, then her capacity to accept the people as they are, and her capacity to pray and to be patient. This means a lot, and that's what brings change. That's what brings change. So now, from this, I understood what actually tolerance means. Tolerance means it's the capacity to endure pain in one's life. And it's the capacity to accept the situation, accept the people, accept the opinions of others. Okay? And it's also the capacity to be patient all through, still consistently put efforts, not impose the change, but put your efforts and leave the results, and then just wait patiently. And sooner or later, you'll definitely achieve the desired result. Like we have this famous example of Shabari. Shabari waited for 10,000 years for Ram to come. 10,000 years. And all the people around her, the other sages, they were making fun of her, because every single day she would pick up these flowers and make a whole, she would decorate the whole entrance of her kutir, of her bhajan kutir, with flowers, thinking that today Ram might come. If he comes, then if he sees this place as not decorated, what will my guru think? So let me decorate it. So every day for 10,000 years, she waited so patiently, tolerating. And then one fine day, Sri Ram and Lakshman, they came, they gave her darshan, they accepted her love and devotion, and they also gave her instructions, and she made her life perfect. So this is the example, for that sabar ka phal meeta hota hai. So always, the result of tolerating, you get complete mercy of the Lord. There is this verse 264 in which Krishna is saying that if you learn to tolerate the dualities, then you will get the complete mercy of Lord. So the Lord, also Brahmaji says, in 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Tatte nukampam susamekshamaano bhunjana evatmakritam vipakam hridvagvapubir vidadan namaste jivetayo muktipade sadayabhak. So Brahmaji is also saying that the person who learns to tolerate and understands that this is my prarabdha, my karma, I just have to go through it, and then that person becomes eligible to go back home, back to Godhead. So now to attain this level of tolerance, after attaining this, um, what all one can have? One can get mental peace and self-control. You see, initially it is difficult because we are so used to getting what we want, and we are so used to being around people who just keep uh, appreciating you, or stuti. And then if somebody says no to you, you just bash them. Life doesn't work like that. You just have to learn to be with all kinds of people, no? So when you learn to tolerate, then you are training yourself, you're growing, you're making yourself grow with all the positive qualities, huh? So this mental peace actually is the basic necessity for a human being. If there is no peace, there is no happiness. Even Krishna says in Gita, first Shanti, then Sukham. So you have to have mental peace first. No matter where you are, with whom you are, how you are, doesn't matter, but how much peaceful you are, that's what matters a lot. But if you have this quality of tolerance, then that brings you mental peace. Then from within, okay, this is why I'm tolerating. you know. And there's a lot of individual growth. Because, see, when you are in the lower modes, when you don't have this quality of tolerance, that means you might get angry, you might get into fights, right? Breaking the relationships or turning the situation messy, or, all these things happen. That means we are working in the lower modes, mode of rajo, mode of ignorance and passion. But as practitioners of Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada says, I have established this Krishna consciousness, Society for Krishna Consciousness, to elevate the people from the lower modes to the mode of goodness. So, tolerance is one of these highly positive quality which actually elevates us from these lower modes to the higher mode of goodness. Because if you tolerance is that quality in the mode of goodness which can help us get rid of this, lower modes. You're like so angry, you're like, you're ready to say something, use some words or whatever. But then if you're practicing that tolerance, then that tolerance will cool you down. It's okay, just hold on for few more seconds, everything will be all right. All is well. Like this. So, and then the tolerance brings you knowledge and patience, because we need to coexist with people who may not be even minded with us. And we may need to be in the situations which are not comfortable. And we might have to be with people with different cultures. Like I was traveling, by flight, and the person next to me, he ordered for eggs. for it was the morning flight. So he said omelette. You can imagine, I'm sitting right next to this person. I was just, loudly chanting Hare Krishna for those few minutes of his, enjoyment of omelette, right? So you learn to tolerate. Otherwise, if it was anywhere else, it was flight, okay? And then you can't go to a different seat. You can't tell that person, you better go have it somewhere else and come back. There is no option. You just got to tolerate. So sometimes the situations help you teach tolerance. So at that time, you must take advantage of the situation and learn. Now, what if you lack this tolerance? What if you don't have this tolerance in life? See, I just figured out some statistics, okay? This could be old, maybe 1 or 2 years old statistics, but still, you will know the condition of this world without tolerance. These few things just to make you aware. There are 400 people suiciding every day in India. Now it could be more because social media addiction is so bad that people go through misery. Mentally they become so miserable. And then this addiction to the games, addiction to all these apps, different apps, all these things, they really make people go very crazy and lose their lives, right? And 370 million people suffering from mental disorders. There are various kinds of mental disorders due to this social media, not just social media. Yeah, actually, social media is like the basic reason, because now every individual has a smartphone, which is really draining people of their peace and satisfaction and letting them exposed to all kinds of negativities, right? And if you look at the other statistics, 18 billion people smoke cigarettes every day. So you can imagine the drunkards, huh? 1 billion people are addicted to smoking. Global divorce rate, 44%. All these things are because of intolerance, right? And now, 200 million people are suffering through the social media addiction. They can't give up. They can't give up the smartphone. The moment they are home or the moment they are in their private mode, immediately turn on the smartphone. They don't need real-time relationships. They don't need real-time conversations. They don't need real-time interactions. People are very happy with the smartphone interactions, smartphone relationships, right? So because of that, people are losing their individualities. They're not, they don't behave like human beings anymore, because they are dealing with the smartphone. One click, you go to a different individual. Another click, a third individual. Another click, fourth individual. So you keep changing people, you keep changing relationships, you keep changing, interactions. It's like animals, You go on the street and you see the animals. So you lose the human nature of being kind, of being understanding, of being grateful. All these qualities are getting lost because of this smartphone addiction. Phones are there, you use them, you take advantage of for what it is meant, whatever you need. But then if you unnecessarily get addicted, then you will face the consequences. And no external support can help you because it's an individual effort to change, right? So then what happens? Then you face health issues, physical health issues, mental health issues, emotional health issues, and what to speak of spiritual health? Zero spiritual health. So now, it's so clear that intolerance is the cause of all these major issues with the individuals, families. People are in the family, in the same house, messaging. From kitchen, the wife sends a message to the husband. Children are messaging, Mom, are you ready with the dinner? They don't come down and talk to the mother or the parents. These individual, personal interactions are getting lost completely. Human beings are social by nature. We need to have proper real-time interactions, Otherwise, then we are no less than animals, Now, what is this difference between tolerance and intolerance? We discussed two different points, right? See, tolerance is based on understanding and respect. Now, you respect the individuals around you, you respect the opinions, you respect the boundaries, respect the limitations that they have. Like in the friendships, every friend cannot do everything for you, and you can't do everything for the other person. So we need to understand the limitations, the boundaries, and respect the people for who they are. So tolerance is that understanding, okay? But then the moment you start judging the other person, the moment you start fighting over things, right? Disrespecting others, then that becomes totally intolerance. So the suggestion is cultivate tolerance as individuals, and it's a very highly positive quality. It can elevate our consciousness. Okay. Now, this tolerance, is of different types. Same tolerance, but we can understand it in different levels. Okay. So, from Bhagavad Gita, they have derived 4 types of tolerances. The first one is, see, this tolerance is known as Sahishnuta in Sanskrit. Sahishnuta. So, the first type of tolerance is the Vega Sahishnuta. Means you tolerate the urges of the senses. In Nectar of Instruction, Srila Rupa Goswami says in the very first verse, Vacho vegam manasa krodha vegam jihva vegam udaropastha vegam. So what are these vegas? Vega is urge. Vacho vega, the urge to speak. Then there is mano vegam, urges of the mind. Then krodha vega, there's anger, right? And then there is jiva vega, urges of the tongue. Udara vega, urges of the belly. Upastha vega, urges of the genitals. So all these vegas, the urges, one needs to learn to tolerate. Only then that person can become, Rupa Goswami is saying, the guru of the world. But we don't need to become, we don't need to try to become the guru of the world, but we can become guru for ourselves, We can become the guru of the senses. The mind is the king of the senses, become the guru to the mind. So as soul, like Bhagavad Gita says, mind is higher than the senses, intelligence is higher than the mind, and soul is higher than the intelligence. And we are what? We are souls, we are spirit souls. So as an individual soul, we have a higher power over all these, mind, intelligence, ego, senses. So become the guru of your own body, mind and senses. That's it. That happens, by cultivating tolerance. Okay. Then there is second type of Sahishnuta. It's called the Dvandva Sahishnuta, as Krishna is describing in this verse. Matra sparshastu kaunteya, shita ushna, sukha dukkha. These are all dvandva of this world. Like and dislike. I like this one, I don't like this one. Summer, winter, all these dualities. So, see, sometimes we cannot control. This is called as the urge to control. Okay, Dvandva Sahishnuta. Sometimes we try to control the situation. Like, for example, just before arriving here, I was just praying, it should not rain because I have to drive the two-wheeler, to come here. And I was thinking, oh my God, if I have to go in the rain, then I'll just, get drenched. So I was just praying, Krishna, Krishna, let it not rain, let it not rain. You won't believe. It was not raining. The moment I got out of the house, it started raining. It started raining. How can you control it? There's no way. I just had to kind of tolerate, put on the raincoat, whatever I could do, put the hat, and then I drove my bike and I came here. Although I got a little bit drenched, but that I have to tolerate, right? So situations we cannot control. I mean, we cannot say that only it should happen like this, then only I'll be happy. No, whatever happens, you just adjust yourself, to the situation. Sometimes things may be comfortable, difficult, and you may go through happiness, sadness. One more example, it was the peak summer day, especially on the Snan Purnima and the next day. So hot, and there was no electricity. There was no electricity. Oof. And I was cooking in the kitchen, just, the sweat, is dripping all over. What to do at that time? Except for tolerance, what else I could do? I mean, I think you all have that experience, right? So, it's like that. Like Prabhupada said, in the purport, that a woman, she won't stop cooking, even in the peak summer or in the month of May and June. So I was just remembering that. I was also cooking. No fan, and there is no air even, there's no breeze. It was so difficult. But then you just have to tolerate. During the month of Purushottam, I was in Badrinath. Here it was so hot. When I left Vrindavan, it was so hot. In 2 days' time, I was in Badrinath. So cold. So cold, and on top of it, it was raining. And I wanted to touch the Alakananda waters. What to speak of Alakananda waters? The tap water to brush teeth was so cold. My fingers got frozen. But then, what else can you do except tolerating it? So, these kind of situations teach you tolerance. And Krishna has designed this material world in such a way that we learn to tolerate. But now, as the technology is advancing, for summers, we have AC, air conditioners, and if there is no electricity, you have inverters, generators, whatever. So the technology is taking you away from these lessons, I feel. But anyway, still, there's no guarantee of this technology. One day the technology breaks, then you got to tolerate, because Krishna comes as time. Kalosmi. He says, Sarva Kshaya Karanam. I destroy everything. So this technology, today it's there, tomorrow it's not there. So you got to learn to tolerate the situations, the people, the opinions, the culture, whatever we are in. Okay. And then there is third type of tolerance called the Paramata Sahishnuta. This is tolerating others' opinions. Now, how to tolerate this others' opinions is the capacity to listen to others. When somebody is expressing something, you listen. Don't just bounce upon them and say, oh, no, 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 it's like this, it's like this. Sometimes we do that. But no, when you have to, this Paramata Sahishnuta is very, very crucial in our individual lives. And then capacity to not to react, but to understand and respond quietly. Then capacity to remain silent and don't impose yourself. You express your opinion like how they express their opinion. And if someone is not ready to accept your opinion, no need to impose, just leave it. Okay. And this is all because basically to avoid fights, to avoid arguments, right? And to keep that peace, because as Krishna says, there's no happiness without peace. There is no happiness. So if you want to be happy in different situations with different individuals and different places, you better learn to keep peace. This is very important. And give a chance to others. Why only we? Why only me? Give a chance to the other person. So this mentality should always be in us. Then this is what is Paramata Sahishnuta. So if we can develop these, then our personal relationships with, see, there are different types of relationships. Relationships with parents, siblings, spouses, friends, even with the spiritual master, right? Sometimes, I heard somebody saying, I'm tolerating my spiritual master. Arre baapre. I got very scared. What? Tolerating the spiritual master? Arre Baba, you need to follow what the spiritual master is saying. That's what is going to take you back home, back to Godhead. And then you're saying tolerating the spiritual master. It's the other way around. The spiritual master is tolerating all your, nuisances and still helping you, chant Hare Krishna and, do the devotional services that is required, right? See, this is how, if we lack that knowledge and association, then we even can say these kind of things, tolerate the spiritual master. Hare Krishna. So this Paramata Sahishnuta, it plays a very important role in the individual's life. Then there is Parotkarsha Sahishnuta, which is tolerating the urge to compete. See, this modern education that we have is always teaching competition. How much ever you compete and succeed, that much great you are. This is the current trend in the material world. But in the spiritual world, it's not like that. Competition, there is no competition because everybody is an individual. Everybody's journey is individual journey. It's a very special journey. We have to understand that my journey is very special. Then you will stick to your journey. You don't look at others as a competition, My journey is very special. I am at this stage and I'm going through this. It's a very special journey for me, and let me go through this. Taking guidance from the spiritual master, from the seniors, chant Hare Krishna and then go through that journey. Not that, look at how this person, that the competition kills tolerance. It kills tolerance. Okay? So this is the fourth type of tolerance. So this means when people do better than us, let them do. What is the problem? Okay, so if we can just have this, clarity, then we can cultivate that tolerance within ourselves. Okay? And the best thing is, do what you can. Put all your heart and soul into what you're doing and do the best you can to please Guru and Krishna. Because Krishna doesn't see with whom you're competing or how much you succeeded in that competition. What Krishna sees is the intention behind your efforts and the intention behind your endeavors to please Guru and Krishna. Okay? Now, another important thing is we need to understand deeply what important role we have in this world as an individual, as a family member, as a member of the society, as the subject of the country. If we understand deeply our role, then, we can rise above these urges, the four urges. The urge to enjoy. What is that tolerance? It's the Vega Sahishnuta. We can develop that. Then the urge to control, the Dvandva Sahishnuta. Dvandva Sahishnuta is to tolerate, the capacity to tolerate the urge to control, okay? And then Vega Sahishnuta is the capacity to tolerate the urge to enjoy the senses. And then there is Paramata Sahishnuta, which is the capacity to tolerate the urge to compete and to tolerate the other's opinions. And then there is Parotkarsha Sahishnuta, which is the capacity to tolerate the urge to compete. So when we rise above these urges, then our individual role, when we understand our role, then we can rise above these urges and actually play an important role. Okay? Now, what is that verse that Mahaprabhu is saying about tolerance? From Shikshashtakam. Trinadapi shunichena tarorapi sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sada harihi. more tolerant than a tree. Hmm? So, there is a whole verse in Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna is glorifying the trees of Vrindavan, how they are so tolerant. They give the shelter to people, and people are cutting them, whatever, they take the fruits from the tree. They tolerate everything and still help others. So, the quality of tolerance is a very beautiful, positive quality. I just need Hare Krishna, 2 more minutes. Packing up. Okay, now what does this tolerance do to us? Okay, there's multiple benefits of developing this tolerance. It multiplies our inner strength. It builds our morals. It keeps us balanced and peaceful in any circumstances, no matter what the circumstance you're in. And it strengthens any relationship. This is so beautiful. And then it helps develop other positive qualities also, like being kind and all other qualities. And it increases the ability to access our hidden potential. Sometimes we don't understand our own potential within us. But when you learn to tolerate, the more you tolerate, the more you know that you have that greatest ability, to help, to have the individual growth and also to help others grow. This is a great potential, And then it empowers us to increase our devotion to Krishna through Shravanam Kirtanam, the chanting of Hare Krishna, which is the goal of life. And actually, by cultivating tolerance, our advancement increases. And then also, like Mahaprabhu says, the more you tolerate, the more you develop the taste for chanting Hari's name. Kirtaniya Sada Hari. Not chant 16 rounds the whole day. No. The same mala you keep holding the whole day, not like that. But any time, at any given point of time, you are remembering Hari. That is the Kirtaniya Sada Hari. Then I would like to share few tips on how to cultivate tolerance. Just last few points. Take ownership of your own feelings. This is very crucial. No blame game. Don't blame others. It's because of you, No, it's because of them. It's because of... No. Take ownership for your own feelings. Practice respecting others. And learn to accept others as they are. Change your own perspective than trying to change others. Then introspect your own self and learn. Activate your inner potential to tolerate. Check your ego, because ego is something constant obstacle. Practice patience. Then remember that change is imminent. Change, it's always there. So we need to adjust, we need to tolerate, and then adjust to that situation and be happy. And the underlying principle that Srila Rupa Goswami says, see, by developing tolerance, then we can always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. Okay? So with this, we'll chant this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra loudly once and then end the session here. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you so much. It's already 7:05. I think there's no time for any questions. I'm so sorry. But once this ends, then if you have anything individually, we can interact, okay? Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,